Hello, everybody. All right, today is Monday, February the 3rd, 2025. So we're into the second month of the year now. Um, Hopefully, some of you had a chance to catch last night's show, as we had a pretty good time um, going over, comics that went on sale um, from Price publication, Price Comics Volume 1, Issue 4, of course. Some interesting perspectives there. Friendly reminder, of course, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Um, as we wait for more people to show up, yeah. So today I watched some more cartoons this afternoon, of course. And now as I've been watching a lot of the shorts, in chronological order, best chronological order as possible. We went through the some of the shorts that came out in July of 1933. Among those, of course, was the first Popeye cartoon, Popeye the Sailor. Um, of course, it was originally presented as a Betty Boop cartoon. Um, but Popeye eventually, just as Betty Boop had basically become the star of her own feature, coming out of being a supporting character in the Bimbo cartoons. So Popeye, it was believed that this particular Popeye cartoon was used more as a vehicle to launch his own series. They just did it on the Betty Boop because Betty Boop, short series. Let's see now. Again, if you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we get some more friendly people in here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, as I said, we're just waiting a few minutes, give you a chance to come in before we talk about what's on tap for tonight. And we just hit the 3 minute mark here. I guess I'll talk about what's on tap for tonight. So, I do have one article I'm going to go over tonight from Bounding into Comics. I guess there was another manga creator decided to draw some art to help promote blood drives in Japan. Now they did this a couple years ago with Uzaki-chan. So now another one called Ameku MD Doctor Detective has also now apparently done some artwork and promotion, trying to help promote a blood drive that they're doing. The Red Cross Japan is doing, albeit getting some criticism because of what he's choosing to draw. So we'll be looking at that. We'll also, of course, have the Wrestling Rabbit get all caught up on all the weekend's action and get caught up on Royal Rumble, Collision. Look ahead to the night's Monday Night Raw in the aftermath of what's slated to come up on the aftermath of from the Royal Rumble, and then we'll have, of course, to finish everything off this day in each history. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So now that we're coming up on the 5 minute mark here, so why don't we go ahead get started here? Let me grab the article here. We'll get going. Like I said, if anything here in the article grabs your attention, feel free to comment or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So here we go. A Meko MD, doctor, detective, author, pushes back against critic who railed against moe art style. Now, moe is kind of an art style in which focusing on like cute girls, right? Got kind of the cutesy aspect to it. Not necessarily per se sexual or anything. That's more etchy. When cute in terms of trying to arouse, but moe more the cutesy stuff. But using anime adaptations collab with Red Cross, quote, if more people donate blood because of this poster, more people will be saved, unquote. Yeah, the general idea is you give people what they want, they're more than likely going to rally around your cause, Basically this whole same thing went through this same bit, where Western quote unquote Puritans were trying to tell Japanese, don't do this. But anyway, article by Nerdigans Inc. published this past Saturday the 1st. So Dr. Takao Ameku, voiced in the Japanese by Ayane Sakura, is ready to offer her latest theory in Ameko MD, Doctor Detective, Episode 3, Into the Spell of Shimmering Light, project number 9. All right, so the Doctor is in. Rather than giving in to random internet outrage, Ameko MD, Doctor Detective, light novel author Mikito Shinen has pushed back against a particularly puritanical critic who tried to cancel a Blood Drive collaboration between the series' anime adaptation and the Japanese Red Cross due to their particular distaste of the male-appealing moe art style used in its campaign posters. Now, again, if you can draw something that will maybe, get more guys to like donate blood, what's the problem? Right? Deemed the House of MD of anime, deemed the House of MD of anime by fans. So in smaller quotes there, the Project Number 9 animated Ameko MD Doctor Detective is an adaptation of the light novel series of the same name, and written by the aforementioned Chinen, illustrated by Noizumi Ito, and follows the exploits of Tenakai General Hospital director of investigative pathology, Dr. Takao Ameko, who is voiced in the Japanese by Ayane Sakura, who provided the voice of Ira Shiratori in Dandadan, as she puts her love of mystery and medical knowledge to work diagnosing the various medical curiosities that come through the facility. So basically, I think what she's basically the director of you know pathology is usually the study of diseases and how they progress. Investigative pathology might be more in line with, well, what happened. They're the ones in charge of investigating diseases that may have been man-made, right? So let's see if anybody's responding yet. Right, again, feel free to comment and or ask questions. Anything grabs your attention. Oh, anyways, as we continue on here, um, given its given its setting and subject matter, it comes as no surprise that the anime adaptation was tapped to provide a friendly and appealing face to a new blood drive campaign currently being hosted by the Japanese Red Cross, as was done a couple years ago by Uzaki-chan. Right, we reported on that too, where the anime for Uzaki-chan had also collaborated, and there was a big dust up over that because of the and in Zaki-chan's case, she's kind of more of a busty woman, as it were. Um, as part of this campaign, Project Number 9 produced a promotional poster featuring the series' titular protagonist in a slightly tight-fitting nurse's uniform, striking a cute pose while holding a hospital syringe and medical chart, which of course is a common picture. If the idea is a common fantasy fetish picture that a lot of people do, not just in anime but in other. See, this is probably what they're talking about right here, right? Albeit she's a doctor, not a nurse, but still, again, if again, guys, let me ask the guys here. If that was a nurse coming to take your blood for donation, wouldn't that make you maybe go, yeah, I think I'll do, if I could have a chance to talk to that pretty lady, yeah, I think I might go for it, right? Hmm. While most who saw the poster found themselves either enjoying the artwork or feeling indifferent to it, Twitter user at Woo Boys, not at Woo Boys. So this is the guy who's a puritanical. Okay, Woo Boys not only found themselves unhappy with Dr. Emeku's quote unquote in small quotes sexualized appearance, but also went as far as to try and launch a full-on cancel campaign against the entire collaboration. Oh, brother, this okay. This guy. I wonder what this guy must not have a life or something like that. Woo Boys. You would think, if anything, with a name like that, you'd think he'd be all into this, right? But apparently no. Apparently no. He thinks that this is a problem. He thinks that this is a problem. Let's see just exactly what his problem seems to be here. As machine translated by DeepL on January 16th, the unhappy user retweeted an image of the poster and declared, um, quote, actual medical personnel should complain about this. Oh boy. Hmm. Quote, this composition of the outfit where the hair is not tied up, um, the handling of the syringe is perceived as fashion, and the cloth clinging to the crotch, a staple of otaku moe art, unquote. They criticize, quote, aren't these the kind of composition and outfits that the Red Cross blood donors should not approve in the first place? First off, I don't really think the Red Cross. Okay, he's saying that the blood don't. No, because I think blood donors. I think in this case, the blood donors would actually be more inclined, particularly the male blood donors, would be more inclined if they thought that they were going to get a cute nurse like that to draw their blood. Now, granted, maybe in a more practical sense, maybe that isn't the most appropriate, from a practical standpoint in terms of, the actual practice of the medicine there. Maybe that's not as practical an outfit. But if the thought is, hey, maybe if I go do this, maybe I will get a chance to see even if they're not dressed quite like that, but if it gives them a chance to meet a nice, sweet nurse who will, make their blood donating that much more of a pleasant experience, and then isn't it worth it, right? Just something to consider with, with the unwilling to let such pearl clutching go unaddressed. Mikoto Chinen, who, in addition to being an author, is also a practicing doctor specializing in internal medicine, took to his own Twitter account the next day to personally address the critics' complaint. So the guy who wrote this not only is the author of the manga, but he's a practicing doctor too. I mean that I think gives the manga and ultimately the anime even more credence, right? Quote, I am a medical professional, doctor, and the original author of this anime, unquote, wrote Chinen. Quote, this poster shows Takao, a doctor, in a quote unquote nurse costume, not an actual medical worker. And if more people donate blood because of this poster, more people will be saved by the blood products made from it, unquote. Yeah, I mean, again, the idea is to get more people to volunteer, right? And even if it's sheer fantasy here, the thought of a nice, sweet young lady nurse, drawing your blood may help to make the experience, because not like I myself, I don't donate blood as much, but I at the age I'm at now, I've had to start doing more blood work, been sent off to do blood work, and I am not a big fan of needles. Okay, and there are a lot of people out there who are not a big fan of people sticking a needle, in your arm. Now, sometimes maybe to help ease those tensions, yeah, having a nice looking nurse there to kind of, coax you through it can help, right? I mean, somebody a nurse who's taking your blood can sit there and go, there, it's okay. That might be something that helps, you know. But anyways, quote, it's a cute and great poster, unquote, he concluded in a follow-up tweet. Quote, everyone, the Tokyo Red Cross Society and the anime, in brackets here, Ameku MD, Dr. Detective, are currently running a collaboration campaign. If you can, please donate blood. Blood donations save the lives of many patients every day, unquote. Yeah. There's the pic again. Surprisingly, as many readers may recall, this is not the first time a blood drive related art collaboration between the Japanese Red Cross and a currently airing anime series has drawn the ire of such puritanical woke scolds. And we've of course been talking all about this throughout this, and as I said earlier, I covered this story, what was it, like a year or two ago when this was going down? Yeah. It was actually even further back. It was more like 5 years ago. Okay. I stand corrected. In 2020, the founder of Japanese cultural news site Unseen Japan, Jay Allen, sparked a brief moral crusade against a Red Cross poster featuring the busty namesake of Uzaki-chan wants to hang out, as he felt the quote-unquote over-sexualized artwork contributed to a countrywide culture of, quote, rampant sexism, unquote. However, his attempt to whip up a firestorm against the poster would end up proving completely ineffective, as not only did no one listen to his disingenuous complaints, the popular Japanese talk show Sokai Joho Variety Tsukiri even outright mocked his arguments live on air. Oh boy! Now that talk about that. So you sit there and you try to cancel a blood drive because of whatever as he called it, being your puritanical woke scold, right? And then you get blasted on national TV for it. Great job of hey, people, don't listen to this guy because he's an idiot. And we're going to show you why he's an idiot on national TV. Oh boy. But the popularity of the collaboration led to an extension of the blood drive and the opening of additional donation centers. So again, the idea of these posters, this artwork, got more people to want to donate blood, and maybe even the woke scolding, probably had a little bit to do with it too, in terms of, people say, you're crazy, dude. I'm just gonna spite you to just. I'm gonna go donate blood just to spite you, fool. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that girl, with us showing us those girls and those type of art. And this right here was I think the poster that they were talking about. Ozaki-chan is as I said, a pretty busty lady. For those of you who don't know about Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, it's an anime about a college-age girl trying to help bring her longtime best friend, who is a guy, out of his shell more. She's a very, Uzaki-chan's a very lively, friendly girl, and her friend is, her male friend is kind of more of a, bit more of a wallflower, bit more of a shy guy, So, she spends a good chunk of the manga and anime trying to, and, she's lively. She got the big breasts. She's it's like she's somebody that a lot of guys want to hang out with, and yet she wants to bring this one guy out of his shell, who's maybe not, a little more shy. So, but anyways, and that's the end of that. But yeah, basically the moral of the story, of course, is that you shouldn't get so bent out of shape over some artwork, because ultimately, especially if that artwork is helping a legitimate cause like a blood drive, as Mr. Sheenan pointed out, if it gets more people to donate blood, then that's a good thing. So anyways, let's see, what time is it now? Let's see, we're at the 24, coming up on 25 minutes. I do need to step away from the computer for a moment, so I'll put some music on, and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back now. Let me take a quick peek around to see if maybe we can get in on at least one more story here. I think what I was trying to do here. Let's see. Yeah, I think that we can do that. Oh yeah. All right. So all right. All right. So I'm going to add in another story here. I didn't previously, just because I got a little bit of time here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at an article from MeTV Tunes. Um, Looking back on the career of Miss Janet Waldo. Um, so it says here, Janet Waldo, who was a longtime. So meet the woman behind cartoon teen idols Judy Jetson, Josie, and more. She was a teen idol her whole life. This article was published January 31st at 3:21 from a TV Tune staff. So, anyways, let's take a look at this because um, this is Janet Waldo they're talking about. So we'll let's get into this. So some people wish they could be young forever. For Janet Waldo, that was kind of true. Yep. While a student at the University of Washington, she won her theatrical award. She won a theatrical award and was discovered by Bing Crosby. Crosby helped her get her first screen test, and suddenly, um, she was a young Hollywood starlet, um, landing roles as an extra in movies like 1938. In movies, in 1938, her mentor Bing Crosby also encouraged her to try out radio acting. And Waldo said of her first impression of the radio station, quote, this is great. You don't have to wear makeup or memorize your lines. You don't have to wear false eyelashes. Her quote unquote big break came in 1941 when she began auditioning for radio plays and was cast in the Lux Radio Theater. She appeared in different movies and radio plays until she received the opportunity to star in her own radio series, Meet Corliss Archer, a sitcom where the 27-year-old Waldo played a 15-year-old. Yeah, 27-year-old. When was that? Let's see. Oh yeah, Janet Waldo's ability to capture teenage zest and energy led to her being cast as one of the most iconic cartoon teenagers of all time, Judy Jetson. Let's take a look at all the teenagers, um, in parentheses here, and a few non-teenagers that Janet Waldo played over the course of her 57-year voice acting career. Imagine for 57 years of your life, you get to perennially, even if you're just voicing the character, you get to basically act like a teenager. Talk about it. Talk about eternal youth, huh? Uh, Many people would like that if they could be a teenager or have the have some of the positives of being a teenager for for that long. Anyways, like I said, if you haven't already, you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream. See if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. And I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Oh, with that being said, let's continue on here. So, of course, the first one that they mentioned here was Corliss Archer. So, before she was Judy Jetson, Janet Waldo starred in the title role on Meet Corliss Archer. Popular radio show, her radio star career began on Cecil B. DeMille's Lux Radio Theater, which then led to her to other starring roles on other radio shows, such as Young Love, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and others. Meet Corliss Archer was a girl next door sitcom. Waldo played Corliss Archer for 8 years, and her likeness was used for the comic books. While Waldo acted on screen as well, she turned down the opportunity to play Corliss in the movies that followed because Corliss was supposed to be 15 and Waldo was in her 30s. Shirley Temple took over the role for the movies and Ann Baker for television. Yeah, maybe a little bit harder even though we saw it in the, we did kind of see it in the 90s with like Beverly Hills 90210, but it's still a little bit harder for a 30-year-old to pass themselves off as 15. Judy Jetson. Waldo originated the role of Judy Jetson, and she was the last surviving main cast member of the Jetsons. In an interview about the Jetsons with MovieWeb, Waldo said, quote, "Judy was a cinch because I just did my own voice," unquote. She loved playing the breathless, enthusiastic, vivacious teen from the future, and her own obituary said that Judy Jetson was one of her favorite roles. And, of course, you can catch Judy Jetson on the Jetsons on MeTV Tunes. A lot of these cartoon roles we're going to see, you can watch on MeTV Tunes. Part of the reason why they did, of course, article on her. Of course, Janet Waldo, another of the mainstays of the Hanna-Barbera company. Pearl Slaghubel, of course, not a teen role, but Pearl Slaghubel is Wilma Flintstone's mother, and perhaps more importantly, Fred Flintstone's chief humbler. This character was originally voiced by Verna Felton, who passed the role to Waldo, who then played the sassy grandma from season 3 onwards. She also voiced Pearl Slaghubel in the TV movies Yabba Dabba Doo and Hollywood Rock-a-Bye Baby. Holly Rock-a-Bye Baby. The Teen Pebbles Flintstone. Now this is the Teen Pebbles from the original series, not the 1971 series Pebbles and Bam Bam. Now that voice was done by Sally Struthers, of course. But this is in the episode in which Fred has the fantasy of a few years down the line and his fears of Arnold and Pebbles, getting married. Arnold the paper boy and Pebbles possibly getting married. So, Teen Pebbles. This may as well be called Fever Dream Pebbles Flintstone, quote unquote. In the episode, the Groom Gloom. Fred takes a nap and has a nightmare where he is a comically old man, and Pebbles is a grown-up teenager who then marries the newspaper boy. Waldo voiced Pebbles and used her Judy Jetson voice for the role. While Waldo brought teen Pebbles to life, she did not voice her again in any of the spin-offs. as I had previously mentioned, of course. Sally Struthers had done the role in the 1971 Pebbles and Batman cartoon. I think she continued the role throughout many of the adaptations. Penelope Pitstop. Penelope Pitstop. In 1968, Janet Waldo, who had been voice acting with Hanna-Barbera for 6 years, and she had been voice acting in general for nearly 27. So 1941 when she got her start there. She was a pro, so it was easy for Hanna-Barbera to cast her in Wacky Races and the Perils of Penelope Pitstop at basically the same time. Wacky Races came out in 1968, and then Perils of Penelope came out in 69, as I recall. The two shows overlapped in production, Wacky Races beginning in September 1968 and Perils beginning in September 1969. Both shows lasted 17 episodes each. Penelope is a sweet Southern belle and one of the few roles where Waldo used an accent. Mm-hmm. And she was cute doing it, too. Josie McCoy. Waldo's other favorite role was Josie McCoy, lead singer and main character of Josie and the Pussycats. She provided Josie's speaking voice. Kathy Dorr provided the singing voice. Waldo also played Josie in Josie and the Pussycats in Outer Space. Of course, the speaking voices of that. Mrs. Anders. Perhaps Waldo's first non-teenager roles, Mrs. Anders, is Corey Anders' mother on Jeannie, which is an animated adaptation of I Dream of Jeannie. Fun fact, Corey Anders was voiced by Mark Hamill, and it was his first voice acting role. Mark Hamill, who would, of course, go on to voice, who had actually become quite known for voicing kind of the hysterically psychotic villains like Joker in Batman the Animated Series, in the DCAU, Hobgoblin in Spider-Man the Animated Series. He was the lead producer in Super Robot Monkey Force, I believe, or something like that. Let's see. Waldo only voiced the character once in The Wish. The character was voiced by Ginny Tyler in the only other episode Mrs. Anders appeared in. Hagatha. Oh, from the Smurfs here. Hagatha is a villain on the Smurfs. She is an evil witch who is more focused on becoming beautiful than meddling with the Smurfs. But sometimes she will meddle with them to get what she wants. Luckily for the Smurfs, she hates Gargamel more than them, and often foils his plots, inadvertently protecting the Smurfs. Waldo's voice for her is very traditional Wicked Witch voice mixed with Pearl Slaghoople, and she really portrays Hagatha's delusions, in parentheses, about how beautiful she is very well. Cindy Bear. Now, Cindy Bear, you could kind of argue, is kind of maybe a teenager young woman, probably in the 16 to 21 range, maybe, for comparison. So many voice actors have played Cindy Bear, including Janet Waldo. She played Cindy in Yogi's First Christmas, where she also played Sophie Throckmorton, the ski lodge owner. Actually, according to most credits I've seen, I think that was... Well, actually, no, maybe that was the case. That's right. I think of Marilyn Schaefer, but Marilyn Schaefer played Snively, actually, Anyways, Granny Sweet. In Precious Pup, Waldo played the motorcycle-loving Granny Sweet. The voice is a warmer, kinder version of her Hagatha voice to highlight the character's sweetness. Kind of the idea of the sweet old lady with her mangy with her mangy yet good-hearted dog, right? Morticia Adams. In the animated version of the Addams Family, Waldo played Morticia. I believe this is from the 1973 series, if I understand correctly. The iconic spooky matriarch is very different from most of Waldo's roles, and Waldo's portrayal of her. Actually, the animation here looks more like maybe it is from the 90s, but of her is also very different too. Her Morticia is slightly higher pitched than other Morticias, but deeper pitched than all of Waldo's other characters. Yeah. I mean, this could be from the. This is probably most likely from the 70s version of the cartoon, because that's when I think that was actually done by Hanna-Barbera. Grandmama Adams. Waldo also played Grandmama Adams in The Addams Family, like June Foray and B. Benaderet before. Waldo really honed her old lady voice as a voice actor. Grandmama sounds very similar to Hagatha and Granny Sweet, but with a shrill, spooky twist. Wow, so she got quite a bit of work even as old ladies too. Hot Girl. Oh wow, now this one I didn't really. Hey Rick, thanks for popping in. If you can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people here to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So, with that being said, Hot Girl. So this is another one I didn't even realize she did. Waldo even got to be on Super Friends. She played Hot Girl in the segment The Incredible Crude Oil Monster, where Hawkman, Aquaman, and Hot Girl take on a supernatural ocean monster made out of crude oil, which is what she is covered in. That was right there. This voice acting sounds the most like Waldo's natural speaking voice, which yes, she used to play Judy Jetson and other characters, but her approach to Hot Girl is slowed down and more conversational, less breathlessly excited. Additional voices. Now, additional voices, in Cordelia March, there are a lot of actors. Usually that's usually in a lot of these cartoons and ensemble shows. Sometimes, the additional voices are the ones who usually play like, character A, character B, boy A, boy B, and others are, when they have like maybe one or two lines, like, look, there's a monster, kind of thing. In addition to all of her iconic roles above, Janet Waldo provided additional voices and one-off roles to the following cartoons: McGillicuddy Gorilla Show, Johnny Quest, Breezy and Sneezy, The Secret Squirrel Show, The Hillbilly Bears, Funky Phantom, The Roman Holidays. Actually, in The Hillbilly Bears, I think she did actually have more of a main role there. I think she was the one who may have provided the voice of Flora Rugg in that. So, Funky Phantom, The Roman Holidays, Speed Buggy, Scooby-Doo, The Scooby-Doo Show, Captain Caveman and the Teen Angels, The All New Popeye Hour, and many more. She also acted on screen in I Love Lucy, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, and The Andy Griffith Show, Get Smart and others. So, watch the Jetsons weeknights at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central, 3:30 Pacific. Sundays at 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central, and 2:30 Pacific. So that's all we got for the articles. Now we're going to move on to wrestling wrap up here, as we're going to do a real quick review of the weekend's activities from WWE. We're going to look back to Saturday night's to the Royal Rumble and then Collision. As at the Royal Rumble, of course, which was not due to some of the surprises and lack thereof. There were some very disappointing fans. In the women's Royal Rumble, Charlotte Flair made her in-ring return to the WWE by winning the Royal Rumble, lasting, of course, 29 others among the talent in the Royal Rumble. We're not going to name them all up, but including NXT's Julia and Roxanne Perez were involved. Jordan Grace making her official WWE debut, and then Lash Legend from NXT as well. WWE legends, and Stephanie McCure as well from NXT, and then WWE legends Trish Stratus and Nikki Bella also made their appearances in the Women's Royal Rumble. DIY retained the WWE Tag Team titles over the Motor City Machine Guns in the best 2 out of 3 match, which saw the Street Profits make their return as basically the heel, helping DIY to retain the titles. Cody Rhodes retained the WWE and Universal titles over Kevin Owens in the ladder match, but it has also been reported that due to the toll that the ladder match took on his body, he may have suffered a few minor injuries that might keep him out for a little bit here. Hopefully not too long, but and the main event saw Jey Uso win the men's Royal Rumble. Now this one was kind of a real shock because nobody expected Jey Uso, even though WWE has been kind of trying to push Jey Uso to the main event level for a while. He and a lot of fans seemed pretty disappointed in that. I think there were a lot of people who were thinking it was going to be somebody like maybe John Cena, who's of course trying to get his record-breaking 17th world title win. Let's see. CM Punk, who has never main evented. Some of the other names that, of course, as I just mentioned, of course, CM Punk and John Cena, but also AJ Styles made his return to WWE action at the show. YouTuber I Show Speed actually was part of the having suffered some bruising. TNA's Joe Hendry made an appearance in the Royal Rumble. Let's see. And that's probably all of the more notable names. Obviously some of the big names like Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was really not happy about his elimination. Now, whether or not that's a work or a shoot, you are still debating that. So, anyways, let's also get caught up on Collision. What happened on Collision on Saturday? So while the WWE was holding its Royal Rumble in Indianapolis, the Collision was the pre-tape show from Huntsville, Alabama, from the Probst Arena in Braun Center. The opening match on Collision saw Hook and Samoa Joe defeat the Patriarchies, Kip Sabian and Nick Wayne, only for Christian Cage to come in after the match and for the patriarchy to try to beat down Samoa Joe after the match. Beast Mortos handed Adam Priest in a loss in under a minute, which brought out Max Caster to issue an open challenge for Beast Mortos LFI stablemates Roosh and Dodistico to come out, and Roosh making his in-ring return after an absence, defeating Max Caster in just over a minute. The Learning Trees, Chris Jericho and Brian Keith with Big Bill defeated the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. Harley Cameron in her bid to trying to build momentum and try to earn a bid at challenging Mercedes Moné for the TNT Championship, possibly at Grand Slam Australia in a couple weeks here, a little under a couple weeks. Defeated Taya Valkyrie in just over 7.5 minutes. Daniel Garcia retained the TNT title in a 3-way match against Kyle O'Reilly of the Undisputed Era, and Lee Moriarty of Shane Taylor Promotions, when the remaining members of Shane Taylor Promotions came out to jump Garcia and O'Reilly after the match, only for Matt Menard of 2.0, who was doing commentary at ringside, and of course one of Daniel Garcia's close friends, and Angelo Parker, as well as the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom of Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, came out to lend a hand to the guys in the ring to stave off the possible attack of the Shane Taylor. Megan Bayne made her Collision debut, defeating Hyena Hera in minute 25. In the main event, saw a Mid-South Tag Team Street Fight. FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler defeating the Death Riders combination of Jon Moxley and Wheeler Yuta, only for FTR to be attacked after the match by Moxley, Yuta, Marina Shafir, and Claudio Castagnoli, only to be saved by Jay White and Ed or Cope, who then promptly challenged Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title at Revolution coming up on March 9th. So we'll have to wait and see if he answers that challenge. Now, with that being said, of course, coming up on tonight's Raw, as soon as I get that information. Coming up on tonight's Raw from Cleveland, Ohio, from the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio, with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee on commentary. Already scheduled for tonight's match, of course, Ludwig Kaiser takes on Penta. Penta in a one-on-one match. The New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods will be taking on the LWO duo of WWE Speed Champion Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio. In a women's qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber, Io Sky of Damage Control takes on Liv Morgan. And in the men's qualifying match, CM Punk takes on Sami Zayn. So that, of course, is all we have for the wrestling wrap-up. So now what we're going to do is with today being Tuesday, Monday, February 3rd, 2025. We're going to take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. So let me just review some things here. Let's see, 2015 and 1995. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, of course, I'm going to wish a happy 30th birthday. Happy 30th birthday to voice actor Kellen Goff, who among his many works include providing the English voice on the English dub of Kai Chisaki Overhaul in My Hero Academia, as well as providing the English voice for Diavolo in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So happy 30th birthday to Kellen Goff. Moving on to the year 2015, 10 years ago today, on this date, 10 years ago today, Warner Brothers Animation released direct to DVD Scooby-Doo Moon Monster Madness. On this date, so it was actually the digital release. The digital release for Scooby-Doo Moon Monster Madness from Warner Brothers Animation happened on this date 10 years ago. So 10 years ago today, the digital release of Warner Brothers Animation's Scooby-Doo Moon Monster Madness. Now moving on to the next piece of Nietzsche history, moving on to 5 years ago, back in 2020, on this date in 2020, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Smart Home Arena the Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City, Utah. The main event saw Ricochet win a three-way match over Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley, a triple threat match to become the number one contender to the WWE Championship. Also on the show, there was a six-man tag team elimination match in which Buddy Murphy had teamed with the Authors of Pain, Akem, and Razor to defeat Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders. Some of the other matches that happened on that night include Asuka defeating Natalya, Rey Mysterio defeating Angel Garza, Aleister Black defeating Eric Young in his brief time with the WWE. And the show opened up with Liv Morgan defeating Lana. So on this date 5 years ago today, WWE held its Monday Night Raw event from the Vivint Smart Arena in Salt Lake City, Utah. And finally, 4 years ago today, on this date 4 years ago today, in 2021, the first issue of the Archie 80th Anniversary Jumbo Comics Digest went on sale on this date back in 2021. It was $7.99 for 192 pages. On this date back in 2021, 4 years ago today, the first issue of the 80th Anniversary Jumbo Comics Digest, Archie's 80th Anniversary Jumbo Comic Digest, went on sale on this date back in 2021. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. And of course, we'll be back here tomorrow night with more Nietzsche news. Also, this Sunday, I'll have Metal from the Vomitoria joining me, as we will be going over comics that went on sale from Quality Comics back in April of 1940. We'll actually be looking at Hit Comics #1 and Volume 1 Issue 1, as well as National Comic Volume 1 Issue 1. We'll be introducing you guys to the in some cases reintroducing you the characters of Red B. Is that this? Yes, it is this Sunday. I hope you're ready for it, Metal. Glad you popped in. I was gonna remind you here, tonight. Um, if you haven't already, you can like and share the stream so we can get some more friendly people in here. That'd be appreciated. Um, but yeah, that is this Sunday, my friend. So hopefully you're ready for it. Because it's going to be quite a night because we're going to be looking at going to be, of course, introducing people to Red B and Neon the Unknown. I've been here. I just like to lurk. Okay. Well, I'm glad. Glad you're here. But anyways, yeah, we're going to be looking at, of course, from Hit Comics #1, we're going to be looking at the origins of Red B and Unknown. From National Comics, Uncle Sam and Merlin the Magician. Of course, that's Quality's version of Merlin, Jock Kellogg. We'll also, of course, maybe catch up on some stuff in Smash and Feature as well. So, Rick, if you're still here, obviously I'm going to need the Quality thumbnail, sometime by the end of the week here. So if you can get that to me too as well, that'd be appreciated. I'll double check to see if I already have it, but I don't. It's kind of hard to tell kind of hard to remember which ones I already have and which ones I haven't. So, anyway, with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Of course, for those of you guys, a little later on here, head over to Metal the Vomitorium because Metal will be doing his show at the top of the hour. So feel free to head over there as well. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.